Performing an obstetric review on the antenatal or postnatal ward is very similar. Your page may look different, however, it is advisable to have the text boxes on the right and the other components in the center. In this case, this patient is admitted on an antenatal ward, and I have my antenatal page highlighted. I would review any of the necessary details, look at the previous documentation. I can enable continuous scrolling to look through all the previous documents over the admission period. Looking at the vital signs, hovering over any of the results will highlight and demonstrate the details. And then I would start my documentation. The clinical summary box persists throughout the encounter, therefore it accumulates over the course of the admission. The other two boxes would remain only for that particular documentation. It is always advisable to initial your entry and save it, although an autosave will occur. I am now going to request some bloods, and in this case preeclampsia bloods. We have a care set specifically for that combines the commonly performed tests. In this case, I am going to remove the clotting screen as I do not want to perform that. If I had any results, they will appear here in this section. Clicking OK puts them into the basket like any other tests. You can see I have 15 missing fields. However, a tip is to press on Control and highlight all the blood tests. This will unify any required fields, so I do not have to repeat them for each test. And then you would see they had all been signed together. Another point to notice is that the orders that I have requested have appeared under the plan and requested actions. I can add any comments, save, and then I am ready to create my note. To create a ward round note for obstetrics, we do not have a specific shortcut available here. Therefore, you will go to the More section, select Other Note. In this case, you can see I have favorited an obstetric progress note under the Personal filter. This will not be the case for you. Therefore, the first time you log on to your system, I would advise you to favorite a group of note types. To do this, you would go to View and then Customize, whilst on the Documentation section. You can see that on the right, I have my personal note types, and on the left, all available note types in the system. In this case, I'm going to add another specific note type, such as the gynecology progress note. Click on the right arrow button, and it'll appear under my personal note type, and then click on Apply. If I go back to the personal, I will see I have two different note types. The templates of the dynamic document will determine what components appear in the actual document. As you can see, all note templates are available to start with, but I have favorited two by highlighting the star button. Therefore, it becomes easier for me to create a note, and I'm going to use the progress note template and click on OK. You will notice this template will pull in certain information from the M page. It will summarize the clinical summary and the latest examination findings that were performed by the team will appear here. their orders that I have just requested, and the plan. If I do not want any particular section, such as the past history procedures, I can just remove it by clicking on the X. Sign and submit. I can add a different name to it if I wanted to. In this case, I'm going to leave it as the standard suggested title and then sign it. To confirm my note has appeared in the document library, I will go to the document and give it a refresh. My progress note here is highlighted as an obstetrics progress note. I have authored it and the title of it. And here is my summary. This will make it easy for the midwifery team to be able to identify quickly the latest progress note from the obstetrics team. If I wanted to go back and modify this note for any reason, I need to click on it, modify. It'll ask me if I wanted to addend or revise the note. In most cases, you would be clicking on revise. Click on sign. Refresh the document component, and you will notice that there is a blue triangle here, which indicates this note has been revised. If you click in the note further, you will see highlighted in red that this document has been revised. The date and time of that revision. Performing a ward round and a documentation on a postnatal patient is identical. You would be performing it whilst reviewing the postnatal section. However, as you can see, these components are all shared, and the process of creating a note is identical.